Hi everyone, today I'm going to analyze a negotiation scene from the Korean drama called Pinocchio. It is like a pretty intense short conversation between a young journalist, a woman, and her senior. And even though this negotiation is not about business or it is like not directly connected with money, it is pretty special and unique because it is about more principles, like ethical principles. So let's talk about the context of the video. So first of all, we have the journalist, let's call her person A, and she has discovered there is internal corruption in her new company, and she decided to confront her senior, let's call him person B, and 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 tells him that she's planning to spawn the connection between the chairman and the department head, right? And that's how this scene becomes immediately a negotiation because person A wants to speak out, meanwhile B wants to stay her in silence, like keep her in silence. Now let's talk about positions and interests. So A's position is pretty clear. So she's going to report him. So the truth comes to a lie, right? Even though that it will cost her job, at the same time she wants to protect the public. And B position is completely different. He's like, don't do it because it can ruin your career, you can be fired, and so on. Now, let's talk about Wagner and whatnot, because here is where the stakes get really high. Like, as Wagner, I mean, her best alternative will be that if the negotiation fails, she will take the story to another network, and she's like already, let's say, prepared to make this, right? Then she say that this report will go to the ENG, what's the name? Not the EMC. And then talking about her whatnot, like the worst alternative she could take is that she might be fired, she might be blacklisted, and she might be not allowed to work in journalist again. So it is like a really hard decision to take. So B Patna is to remove her quietly, and most important, shade the reality of the story, and also his whatnot might be that the like this whole drama, this whole scandal goes to the public, like anyways, like even though their negotiation, it could go to the public state, and also his leadership might look weak. Then we can see that both of them are under pressure, but for different angles, right? We see that A is really to lose her job. Like it seems that she doesn't care because she's aiming for justice, but she's not gonna lose her integrity, right? And then on the other side we have B. B is willing to offer her power. He says, yeah, I will put you in this higher position, but only if you stayed in silence. Now let's move to the tactics they're using. So first of all, we have the anchoring tactic, and here A anchors like the whole conversation early by saying, yeah, I will report this, I know what you're doing, that like that's not fair. So she comes really with this powerful approach, like a powerful woman, and she's confident of what she's talking about. But then it comes to silence a second. So after she say all these statements with authority, there is a moment when she makes a strong break, like she just stop, and then And then we can notice how this silence increases the tension between A and B, and it makes like immediately B to react because there is like this kind of uncomfortable silence between them. So through the whole video we saw how the woman, she's using her expressions like facial expressions, also the way she talks, like how she's using her voice. And then here, like the story turns are more emotional, right? Not logic, more emotional. Then there is like this kind of flashback that I really like of the video, because we can see how she's using the same tactics that the Sherman used before, the senior used before with her. And since she knows that they actually work, she's trying to copy these tactics again on the new woman, like on the young journalist. Let's call her person C for a moment. Then we got the body tactic, because B offers her a promotion, as I say, this high position on the company. She said, yeah, you could become the first like powerful female in my company. And he's using this leverage, like making the offer more attractive for her, but actually he's just trying to manipulate her. And then we have the time pressure as a tactic, because he told her that she has still time to change her mind. And that's like a tactic to try to close the window wisely. And he's like, yeah, if you are changing your mind, you are taking the best position, the best choice ever. But it's just all manipulation, as we know. Then finally we have the framing, because the whole argument of person B is framed as you're doing the wrong thing, this will destroy your career, your job, and so on. So he tries to reframe her act of courage more as something childish, or let's say native, right? And that's like a classic framing we can notice in a lot of negotiations.